Hey guys, Troy here, back with another video today. This one is kind of user requested, maybe if you guys didn't even know that. So I've been getting a ton of comments and a ton of questions talking about Akpala, Keldon Johnson, Matisse Thybulle, a bunch of these mostly second year rookies, and whether I think it's a good idea to invest in them. Some people even are not even asking, they're just telling me, this is the guy you need to get. And my short answer to basically all of them has been no, I wouldn't personally invest in them. And a few people have even asked for, Akpala versus Johnson, a bunch of these different who would you buy videos, but actually I think this video is a great exercise when I can kind of cover everyone and helpfully at least show you why I'm thinking what I'm thinking and why for me personally the answer is going to be a no. So the answer actually has a lot to do with the title of this video. And it may have been a little clickbaity, so I apologize for that, but I think you'll see where I'm going with this. And the first thing I'm going to use to illustrate my point of why I'm not personally interested in some of the names I've mentioned is comparisons. And we're going to look at KZ Akpala's Optic Gold Wave. A fairly rare card, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's numbered. It's not the regular gold that's out of 10. But that card is going for a pretty penny. It's going for $50 right now. And we're going to compare it to the Topps rookie of Blake Griffin, which right now is about a $30 card. So just right off the bat, guys, that's pretty insane to me. KZ Akpala is a guy who went in the second round, who averaged 1 point per game last year, and a guy who doesn't necessarily have, a wide open path to even being a rotational player, get alone a starter. Versus Blake Griffin, multiple time All-Star, still has value. I don't think it's, he's towards the tail end of his career, so fair enough, but he could win a championship. There's talks of him being traded to the Warriors, so you never know what's gonna happen. A guy who had a crazy career at Oklahoma, slam dunk champion, really an iconic guy. I think he'll be a Hall of Famer, and that's what his gold rookie is going for. And who really thinks that Akpala will turn into Blake Griffin, even have 10% of Blake Griffin's success, even in the best case scenario? Both athletic bigs share some similarities, but in terms of what their careers end up to be, I think that's where it ends for me. But this isn't an Akpala hate video. I'm trying to illustrate a point, so let's keep it moving. Next up, maybe not the best comparison in terms of the two players, but still, bear with me here. We have Kelvin Johnson's Prism PSA 9, that is going for $50 right now. And we have Chris Paul's Topps Chrome rookie going for $60 right now. And I think actually those have risen a lot recently too. Don't need to say much here. If you guys are younger, Chris Paul is a beast, man. The stuff he's accomplished, his college career, playing at Wake Forest, so yes, I'm a little biased, but multi-time All-Star, surefire Hall of Famer, great player. I won't spend too much time dwelling on it because that's not the point of this video. Versus Keldon Johnson, who averaged 9 points per game. Granted, that's better than Akpala, but I'll leave it there. Next up, Matisse Thybulle and his Prism PSA 9 rookie, going for about $30 right now, versus Draymond Green and his Prism in raw form, okay, but also $30. And one's raw versus PSA 9, fair enough, but that's also first year Prism with a print run, I probably guess of what, like 10% of how many of those of the Thybulles are out there. And I think this one is actually a pretty good comparison because I don't think there's anyone who's led into believing that Thybulle is ever going to be an amazing offensive player. But you might be thinking, oh, but these guys, if they get in a championship situation and they win a ring or something, then maybe it'll boom. Well, yeah, if he wins a ring this year, I have no doubt that he would boom, but that's not going to happen. And Draymond, 3-time champion, once again, a guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer. And you can pick up his Prism, 2012 Prism, first year rookie for $30. And I might be kind of beating a dead horse here, but let me at least justify the title of this video too. I said going to zero. Let's take a look at two guys from the 2016 draft class. So people who are more recent, okay, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, end of the career, maybe people are just, old news or something like that. So two guys from the 2016 draft class, Domantas Sabonis, Prism, PSA 10, $80. This guy was drafted 4 years ago, and he already made an all-star team. $80. That's less than Keldon Johnson right now. And how about another one? Because Sabonis, honestly, I can say with a pretty good amount of confidence, I don't see any of those three guys we named before ever making an all-star team. And Sabonis made an all-star team. But let's take Taurean Prince, a good player, solid rotational piece in the NBA, averages 12, 13 points per game. That's a pretty good output. Good defender. His Prism PSA 10, once again I'll note, with this much smaller pop count, $15. So yes, basically zero. So yeah, that kind of gets me to what I'm thinking. For those guys to appreciate, it's just really risky. And they might boom, 100%. You're right. Just like, a Bol, a guy actually believing a little more than them. But if Keldon Johnson or Akpala has some big moments, they will rise. And you could very well make a profit, 100%. But first of all, as the first three guys showed, if you're holding long-term, anything longer than like 2 years, no chance. Those, you will not make money on those. I can confidently say, I'll bet any one of you hold those guys' cards for 3 years, no way. And I put in Sabonis and Taurean Prince to show you guys that the window for flipping is so small. And that's if things go right. That's if they have a good year this year. If any one of those guys has average years this year, 11 points per game, 12 points per game, they will be going to zero and you won't even be able to give those away. But allow me to provide the counter argument real quick. I like to think there's some truth in what I said before, but what also annoys me is when people go, oh, you shouldn't be investing in anyone but Luka and LeBron. Just look at the prices of Jerry West. I can't believe you guys are talking about Tyler Hero and Trae Young and all these blah, blah, blah. I mean, first of all, they're right. In the long run, out of the past 2 draft classes, maybe 1 or 2, it might even just be 1, guys are gonna actually hold value long term, like any type of value, even just $100 for a PSA 10. So they're 100% right. I was comparing some of the lower end guys, but sorry, one more comparison. Trae Young Prism PSA 10, $600 versus a Stockton 88 Fleer rookie PSA 10, which is $800. And real quick, the Trae Young Prism pop count, I think probably I'll put it right here, insane. I think it's like 15,000 or something like that, versus the John Stockton pop count. Probably put it right here, something like maybe like 2,000. But, not to be a hypocrite here, let's be fair. I've advocated buying Trae Young. Not so much now, but during the offseason. I own Tyler Hero, another guy who, as absurd as it sounds, if you look at his prices versus, Tracy McGrady, John Stockton, all these, big time guards, he's more expensive. You're correct, that doesn't make any sense. But here's why it's a little different than Akpala and Kelvin Johnson and these guys. First of all, if you only ever invested in legends, there would be no one left to invest in. I've made this joke plenty of times before, but you buy a LeBron, you buy a Luka Silver, that's the least risky thing you could do, and you'll just put it in a safe and don't look at it for 5 years. But if you're here watching this video, that's not what you're here to do. And it's also different because the Trae Young, maybe not Tyler Hero, I'll leave him out of this, but Trae Young, even Jason Tatum, these guys, they will be relevant, at least for the next 5 or 6 years. Barring any kind of freak injuries or anything like that, their cards will have value. So first of all, they're not gonna go to zero, like the other guys I mentioned. And you'll have a, 8-year window to flip. I think that's fair enough. You can handle that. And if you're patient enough, you'll find a point where you'll be able to flip them. But with those other guys, it's really risky. You have a 1-2 year window, and also they're headed to zero. It's just a question of when. So I'm not telling you don't invest, because I don't tell anyone what to do on this channel in general. I don't say you for sure should do this, or I know the only way to do it. It's very possible you make plenty of money. I mean, just getting a PSA 10 from a raw card, you'll make money. But as we saw with Bol, if someone has a moment, you can flip it and make a lot of money. But I just wanted to make one video that shows why my answer to those type of players is almost always gonna be no. Just for me personally, and for you guys to understand the risks that come with investing in those type of players. But all right, that's it guys. Sorry for being a little rambly. Just kind of wanted to get it out. It was more conversational, just my thoughts. Let me know what you think down below though. If you disagree, 100% fine. That's the good thing. I don't claim to know everything, and I don't know everything, but that's just my opinion. Also, make sure to like and subscribe, and we're gonna keep the videos coming. Thanks again.